So Trials of Osiris has been a little bit funky recently. No radar, no revives, and now First Light. Yes, that massive map from the beta is the home of Trials of Osiris this week. Bungie finally did it. So today I want to talk about the map and some of my experiences playing Trials on First Light this week. So First Light is a pretty huge map, traditionally one that you'd see inside of the Combined Arms playlist. You've got some pretty huge expanses of space around the map which are broken up into smaller chunks, but with lines of sight which stretch for massive distances, and it's really not what we'd expect in a Trials of Osiris map, so it makes for an interesting experience to say the least. Firstly, in this video, let's talk quickly about the ammo and capture spawns and key positions in the map. So firstly, special ammo spawns immediately at each spawn. Alpha on the low side of the map and Bravo on the top of the map. You have one more special ammo box dead in the center of the dome building and another outside of the tower building, or the zone B area, which is also where the capture zone will spawn. Heavy ammo will spawn inside of the bottom floor of the dome building. So what do you need to think about on this map? Well, firstly, it's a wide open map. It's very easy for teams to split up, and you need to be aware of multiple angles. You're gonna die pretty regularly to people that you aren't actually engaging because it's easy to get spotted, and you kind of have to just work with that. What I found useful personally is on the first round of a game, just dedicating to a side of the map, so having the team all push up on the right, using those actual edges of the map to exclude angles in the start of the round, and as you play a team you'll kind of get an idea on what they're doing, and then you can try other stuff in the following rounds. You can get some fantastic flanks on this map because it's so wide open. If your team has aggro on enemy players, you can often push around and get some great long distance kills from a wider angle of the map, and one of the keys really on the map is to utilize the space that you have, but you do need to be aware of your confidence level as well, because being split up on this map means that you're really split up. It can be hard to get to a position where you can help your team or get back for revives and things like that. Having said this though, generally there's no point in going to the same location to engage every round on this map. Try and stick together and push different angles on each spawn. You know, what we were doing at one point is literally pushing right, then pushing left, then pushing right, and then pushing right again, and just trying to throw people off. Things like that. Absolutely use sparrows on this map as well to get around faster. Being around the tower building in the center of the map, or where the capture zone spawns, obviously is a pretty great place to control. It can be kind of tricky here as well though, because you have so many angles on that position from all around the map. Weapons are an interesting thing to think about this week on Trials. There are actually a ton of primary weapons being used on this map, which is pretty cool. I personally have found that high impact scout rifles like Colovance's Duty that I'm using in the gameplay are just fantastic for cross-mapping people and absolutely getting the drop on primary gunfights on this map. Often if you have the right range, players really struggle to snipe you because of the flinch, unless there are, you know, absolute extreme ranges, and they'll struggle with their primary weapons if they have a pulse or something, because you can keep your distance. So it's worth thinking a little bit about your setup here, stuff that you normally use, you know, you may want to put aside for this week. Especially high impact scout rifles I feel are really solid on this map. Of course, around the center tower and the dome area in particular, you'll have a lot of closer range engagements which happen somewhat regularly because of course you've got the heavy round and the capture zone, so it is worth having some stuff that can deal with closer range engagements. Another thing to think about as well on this map is that teams do get a hell of a lot of revives this week. It can be pretty tricky keeping track of where enemy orbs are, especially if you don't actually make those kills. So if an enemy team is split up or something, you could be on the other side of the map and someone goes down, and then you might find yourself pushing a last guardian standing or something, and they may actually have a revive that they can make, you know, behind cover that you don't know about, which of course can turn situations into 2v1s. So really the space, the distance in the map is kind of what makes it tricky on pretty much all fronts. On the whole though, I feel like playing the long range game is super important here. You have to do it very effectively, but you also have to be ready for people to push up. Keep the communication up, and especially at the start of the games, like I said, try not to split up too much until you've got a feel for how the other team plays. And keeping these things in mind has certainly helped me this week. That's about it really for this video. Definitely some tricky elements to Trials of Osiris on this map, but it's certainly an experience. How do you guys find it though? Let me know in the comments what you think of Trials of Osiris on First Light, and if you have enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe on screen now for a lot more Destiny content. For now though, you guys have a great time in Trials of Osiris.